Yes, beta. We are going to have today long composition in which you have 4 topics: article, speech, debate, and reports. Out of that, in PT1, you have article writing. Clear? And we are going to discuss about article writing. Anyone who would explain what is an article? Anyone who can explain what do you mean by an article? Yes? Who will explain? Please raise your hands quickly. No one. Jasmine beta, what do you understand by article writing? Yes, Diksha has raised hand. Diksha beta, yes.
Ma'am, article writing is writing your expression for some newspaper or magazine.
Hmm. For a particular topic, telling the pros and the cons, advantages and disadvantages, what could be the result, what could be the consequences, and making some appeal at the end or some suggestion at the end. Again, in short, if we go for the article, it is specially meant for the public reading through newspapers or magazines. Clear? So if we go in the detail about the description of the article writing, it is an objective piece of composition on a specific subject. एक particular subject आपको दिया जाता है, उसके ऊपर आप अपनी writing देते हो, you give your views. It is written to inform or instruct or both. Sometimes you want to give some information about some topic or some problem, and sometimes you want to give instructions, and sometimes both things are there. You want to give the information also, to you want to give the instructions also. That means suggestions from your side. It may be a pure piece of fiction. It requires a careful research and planning. The subject of an article has to be carefully selected in order to interest the audience for whom it is meant, and it has to be informative and lively. Particularly, what things should be kept in mind while writing an article? You must keep in mind the audience, कि आप रीडर्स आपके कौन से हैं, कौन से ऑडियंस हैं आप जिनके लिए वो आर्टिकल लिख रहे हो. दैट शुड बी केप्ट इन द माइंड, वेदर they are children, whether they are adults, whether they are old people, the elders. So the audience or the readers should be kept in mind while writing any topic. Article writing involves a high degree of creativity and a thorough knowledge of the subject. जिस subject के बारे में आप लिखना जा रहे हो, you must have complete knowledge about that subject. You should have high creativity in your mind, thinking and imagining about that particular topic. In addition, it requires an organizational ability to organize all the points in a sequential manner. You should organize all the points in sequence. ये नहीं कि haphazardly कि आप पहले कुछ बता रहे हो फिर कुछ और बता रहे हो, and those 2 points don't have a link. So what should be kept in mind? That there should be a proper link and sequence should be there in all events, whatever you are going to explain. The writer of the article should possess thorough knowledge of the subject. He should be able to comment on the pros and cons of the subject. कोई भी subject, जो भी subject आप लिख रहे हो, article लिख रहे हो, उसके बारे में thorough knowledge होनी चाहिए. And you should be able to comment on the pros and cons. That means advantages and disadvantages, merits and demerits, benefits and the loss and the harms you get from that particular issue or some problem. He must have a good command over English language. For this, he must read good books and newspaper. That means your expressions should be good, your grammar should be correct, spellings should be correct. English language का मतलब ये है, command over English language means your use of the tenses, use of the grammar, expressions, use of the spellings, that should be correct. And for that, if you want to get more and more knowledge about any topic or about any issue, you must read good books and newspapers. to create new ideas in your mind, to have originality of your ideas, to get more and more knowledge, you must go through the magazines, the books, and the newspapers. But reading is not enough. सिर्फ रीडिंग से कुछ नहीं होगा. Along with reading, he must have a keen sense of observation, which is very, very important. Not only reading from the newspapers and the books will help you, you should have keen sense of observation. मतलब आपकी observing जो कैपेसिटी है, ऑब्जर्वेशन है, दैट शुड बी टू मच. आपको आस पास आपके सराउंडिंग्स में, आपके एरिया में, आपके स्ट्रीट में, आपके सिटी में क्या हो रहा है, दैट शुड बी इन योर नॉलेज. ही मस्ट ऑब्जर्व द लाइव्स ऑफ द पीपल अराउंड हिम. आपके आसपास जो लोग रहते हैं, आपके रिलेटिव्स हैं, आपके नेबर्स हैं, आपके एरिया के लोग हैं, हाउ दे आर लिविंग देयर लाइफ, दैट शुड बी इन योर नॉलेज. In addition to reading and observing, he must develop the habit of thinking. The third point that is needed and which is much more important, first is reading through the books, magazines, newspapers, getting knowledge about the topic. Second, having keen observation, looking at the things happening around you and the people living around you in your society, in your area. Very important thing is the habit of thinking. After reading some topic, after reading the newspaper or from magazine, if you have seen some particular event or some particular issue, you should have the habit of thinking. उस point के ऊपर, उस problem के ऊपर आपकी thinking की habit भी होनी चाहिए. That will give you good ideas. He can develop this habit by asking questions about what he has read and seen around him. He should be able to disagree with others and form his own opinion about the subject, which is very important. कि अगर आप किसी प्रॉब्लम को रीड कर रहे हो कहीं पर, किसी न्यूज़पेपर में, किसी मैगजीन में, या कोई इशू पढ़ा है आपने, कोई पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल, कोई आइडिया पढ़ा है, उसको आप आसपास भी अपनी सोसाइटी में भी कुछ उससे रिलेटेड चीज़ें देख रहे हो, you should have the habit of thinking. And if you feel that you don't have the knowledge, you can ask questions from others, from your parents, from your elders, from your neighbors, from your relatives, from your friends, in any of your circle. You should ask questions about that to get more and more knowledge what you have read and what you have seen around. And then you should be able to give your own opinion about that particular subject. कि आपकी क्या राय है, what is your opinion about that, लोग क्या कहते हैं, आपने क्या पढ़ा है, क्या आपने देखा है, और आपका क्या ओपिनियन है उस पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट के बारे में. यू शुड बी एबल टू डिसएग्री विद अदर्स, कि आप उनसे नहीं सहमत हो, आपके पड़ोसी कुछ कहते हैं, आपके नेबर्स कुछ कहते हैं, या फ्रेंड्स कुछ कहते हैं, तो यू डोंट एग्री विद दैट, then you should give your own opinion about that subject. It is said that practice makes a man perfect. So you should write as frequently as possible on something or the other. Initially, you should start writing about ordinary incidents, events, or topics. Generally, you should have the habit of writing so that you can get more and more efficiency and perfection in writing the articles. So this was about the article writing, what is needed for that: reading, observation, and thinking, and then analyzing that thinking and giving your opinion. Then we are given some important points that should be kept in mind. We should follow the simple guidelines given below. First one is title. A title of the article or speech reflects the gist of the subject matter. It should be brief, say of 4 to 6 words, not too long कि आप 2 lines में title ही लिख दो. Title should be linked with the topic, whatever is given to you. जिस topic के बारे में आप लिखना चाह रहे हो, उस topic के से related topic आपका title होना चाहिए, so that from the title one should come to know what is given in this article. It may be of even 1 or 2 words, but it should be eye-catching, appropriate, and to the point. Eye-catching means आपने इसको बोल्ड करके लिखना है जब आप आर्टिकल स्टार्ट करते हो, जो भी आर्टिकल है इसको बोल्ड करके लिखना है सो दैट इट कैन बी आई कैचिंग एंड देन इट शुड बी अट्रैक्टिव, एप्रोप्रिएट अकॉर्डिंग टू द टॉपिक. Coming to the second thing, that is the body of the article. The body of the article should consist of three parts: beginning, middle, and conclusion. The beginning of the article should be striking, relevant, and original. अपनी words में लिखना है, original language देनी है उसको. It should be striking, attracting the attention of the people, what you want to say. It should arrest the attention of the readers. The middle of the article should contain appropriate facts, figures, arguments, and reflections. It should be developed logically and a proper link of each detail should be maintained. The second paragraph, जो आपका middle paragraph होगा, what you are going to write in that. In the first, you have given the introduction about your topic, what you are going to write. In the second paragraph, you have to tell about the facts and the figures. उसके बारे में लोगों के क्या विचार हैं, कोई डाटाज अवेलेबल हैं, कोई ऐसा इशू है जिसके बारे में आपको फिगर्स अवेलेबल हैं, यू कैन प्रूव with those figures. Then you can argument for that, what is the opinion of the people, what do you think about that, your reflections, what is your idea about that. Then it should have proper link and logical link. Haphazardly nahi dena, jo bhi ideas de rahe ho, the next idea should be linked with that properly. Then coming to the third paragraph, that should be the conclusion of the article. It should not be abrupt, vague or shabby. Vague means not clear. आप अब्रप्ट सा लिख देते हो, कोई एंडिंग उसकी प्रॉपर नहीं करते हो, कोई क्लियर कट आइडिया नहीं देते हो. इट मस्ट गिव द इम्प्रेशन दैट यू हैव सेड व्हाट यू वांटेड टू से. कि आप एक बार कुछ कह रहे हो, दूसरी लाइन में कुछ कह रहे हो, तो इट विल नॉट मेक द सेंस. सो व्हाट यू वांटेड टू से, इट शुड बी said clearly. Concluded by a sentence or line that sums up the whole thing. आप कोई quotation, कोई ऐसी line end में add कर सकते हो to sum up, जिससे कि पूरा idea जो है वो conclude हो जाए. And you can give your suggestions also at the end. If any issue is there, you can give your suggestions. You can make an appeal at the end. If some social problem is there, you want the people to be aware about that so that it should not affect their future. An article should be divided into several paragraphs. Each paragraph should deal with one point or argument. Each paragraph should be linked with the other paragraph. Your thoughts must show logical development, coherence, and unity in all paragraphs. ये ना लगे कि एक पैराग्राफ में आप कुछ बात कह रहे हो तो अगले पैराग्राफ में उससे बिल्कुल हटकर कोई पॉइंट उठा लिया आपने, ऐसा नहीं. It should be linked with the previous one. The whole article should have a structure, which means that it should have an attractive beginning, a coherent middle, and a striking conclusion. Then, coming to the intention of writing an article, why we write an article in examination. The intention of writing an article is to score good marks. In order to do so, you should be able to write a highly structured article. You should develop the arguments according to the subject given for writing an article, and your thoughts should have coherence and unity. The main important point is that all the paragraph, all the ideas should be properly linked with each other. Now, coming to some important points that you should keep it in mind while writing a paragraph. First is prospective readers. What type of readers you have? Before writing an article, you should keep it in mind the readers for whom you are going to write. Consequently, your article should cater to the sensibility, capability, intelligence and education of the readers. आपके readers जो हैं वो educated हैं, sensible हैं, they are capable, they are intelligent. Accordingly, you must write. A good article should be intelligible and comprehensible, मतलब understandable होना चाहिए, समझ आना चाहिए जो आप कहना चाहते हो. Thought and style should have compatibility with each other. आपका स्टाइल, लिखने का मैनर और आपके आइडियाज़ जो आप दे रहे हो, दैट शुड बी कंपैटिबल टू ईच अदर. ये नहीं कि आप कुछ और विचार लिख रहे हो और उसको लिखने का स्टाइल आपका कुछ और डिफरेंट है एंड इट इज़ नॉट अंडरस्टैंडेबल बाय द रीडर्स. It should not be. What should be the style? About the vocabulary and the grammar, your article or speech should be written in a simple and elegant style because simplicity is a big virtue. You should not indulge in verbosity and jargon, means दो जो वर्ड्स जो हैं हम डेली लाइफ में यूज़ नहीं करते हैं, स्पोकन लैंग्वेज में ज़्यादा यूज़ नहीं होते हैं, ऐसे डिफ़िकल्ट वर्ड्स जो है नहीं यूज़ करने. अवॉइड कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर बिकॉज इट विल लीड टू कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड एम्बिग्विटी. कि अगर आप कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस यूज़ करते हो, स्ट्रक्चर सेंटेंसेस का बहुत लंबे लंबे सेंटेंसेस यूज़ करते हो, इट मे लीड टू कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. आपका आइडिया जो है कॉम्प्लेक्स बन सकता है, क्लियर नहीं होगा, एम्बिगुअस हो जाएगा, and you will not be able to clear your idea. Moreover, you will make mistakes when you will add too many sentences in one sentence. You will make a complex sentence structure. This can create grammatical mistakes. So adopt a simple sentence structure because it leads to clarity and intelligibility. By adopting simple sentence structure, you are not likely to commit grammatical mistakes. In short, your article should be rich in vocabulary and contain no grammatical mistakes. Grammar का ध्यान रखना है. The board has not added grammar in 12th class. Whatever you have to learn, that is given to you up to 11th class. But they feel that you are perfect now in the grammar. So there should not be any grammatical mistake, tenses, vocabulary, subject verb agreement, everything should be taken care when you are writing the passive sentences or you are writing any idea of someone. It should be given in the direct speech in the inverted commas. If you want to change it according to yourself, then change in the indirect form, removing the inverted commas and using all the rules of the reported speech, changing the tenses and the persons accordingly. So all the grammar rules must be taken care while writing different sentences. Next is making use of the given information. Sometimes you are given some clues, some value points along with the topic. Sometimes if the particular hints or the topics are not given, some information is given in the topic itself. Topic में ही कुछ ऐसी explanation दे दी जाती है and you must use that information. It may be visual or verbal. आपको points की form में, text form में दी जा सकती है, आपको कोई picture दी जा सकती है. You must use whatever is mentioned through that. Clear? So those points must be mentioned. The given information in the form of visual or verbal input should be properly scrutinized and the relevant portion of it should be used in the article. अच्छे से आपने उसको पहले scrutinize करना है, analyze करना है कि इस picture को देने का क्या idea है, what is wanted from you, and if any hint or any value points are given, that must be added in your article. Sometimes significant hints are available in the very question or statement, so read them carefully and expand them properly. आपको कुछ hints दे दिए जाते हैं, आप कई बार उनको ignore कर देते हो. Don't ignore that. Whatever the points, whatever the hints or the value points are given to you, add those value points. Try to expand those value points. That will give you help in expanding or giving your ideas. Then the next very important point is research and planning. In order to write an article on a particular topic, you need information, facts, figures, and data as per the requirement. You should collect those from newspapers, magazines, and the internet and books. When you are equipped with ideas and information, plan the sequence of the arguments to be given in the article, develop different points in different paragraphs. That means for this, you need to be a good reader, you need to be a good observer, you need to be a good analyzer, thinker, and then you need to argument with others, ask questions from others, get information from others, and you should be able to express your own opinion. Research and planning means you have to research the things. Whenever you get time, read the newspapers, read the datas and the figures and the facts about some particular issue on net, in the magazines, in the books, wherever you get the source for that particular issue, and then plan the sequence how you will develop that into your article. So what this suggests is, if the time permits, you must make a rough draft and then develop your thoughts in such a manner that your article has coherence and unity, कि उसमें proper link बना रहे एक paragraph का दूसरे के साथ, एक idea का दूसरे के साथ. For that you must make a rough draft. Complete अगर आप नहीं लिखते हो, only you can write the important points. आप अपना rough जो है, जब भी article आपको कोई भी topic आता है, think about that carefully, and then you can make some important points in the rough work. आप अपनी sheet के ऊपर rough work में important points jot down कर सकते हो, what points you want to add, and then think about their coherence and the unity, whether these points are linked. कुछ ऐसा लग रहा है तो you can shift, reshuffle those points, उन points को ऊपर नीचे कर सकते हो, so that the link and the coherence should be there. Then you can revise the whole draft. While revising it, you should be able to eliminate repetition of arguments, words and phrases, and any other digressions. The temptation of introducing beautiful phrases has to be resisted. Beautiful phrases को लिखते लिखते कहीं ये ना हो कि गलत words लिख जाओ, कि गलत phrases use कर जाओ, which should not make the meaning clear, because your sentences and your idea should be very clear. It should not be ambiguous, no difficult and high sounding words should be used. Use simple language, simple words. Don't make vague generalization and arbitrary statements, that is artificial statements जिसके बारे में आपने कोई verification नहीं करी है, ऐसी statements नहीं दीजिए. Now a good rough draft is ready for you when you revise it once, and you can eliminate the repetitions of the arguments. कई बार होता है कि हमें similar से mind में ideas आ जाते हैं और हम बार बार उसी point को लेकर repeat करते हैं. Repetition should not be there. Then use of saying quotations or sayings. आपके पास कई बार कुछ great leaders की, कुछ great persons की personalities की sayings होती हैं या quotations होती हैं, are to be used sparingly. Sparingly means बहुत ज़्यादा use नहीं करना. स्टार्टिंग में दे सकते हो, एंडिंग में दे सकते हो, इन बिटवीन आप यूज कर सकते हो 1 or 2, but not too much. Quotations and sayings are to be used. They may be used when they are appropriate to the subject on which you are writing an article, and if you are using sayings or quotations, that should be linked with that particular topic. Excessive use of quotations marks the clarity and beauty of the article. Use quotation mars, not marks. Mars means destroy कर देती है, कि अगर बहुत ज़्यादा हम quotations use करते हैं तो that can mar the clarity and the beauty of the article. हमारा article अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, उसकी clarity नहीं होगी. It will be ambiguous idea. Now look at the format of an article. First of all, title and heading should be there, and note down with this you have to add the byline. This is not mentioned in your this format of the article. Please note down that it should have byline. Byline means the name of the writer who is writing. The name should be mentioned. Most of the time it is given to you in the topic, so the same name should be mentioned. If any designation is mentioned, that should also be given there. If it is not mentioned, you can write ABC. Don't write your own name. Okay, brief, eye-catching title and heading plus byline. You can add with this that you have to write here brief, eye-catching heading. What should be added here? Plus you should have byline. Byline का मतलब क्या होता है? That you have to add the name of the writer here. Clear? With this you can add the byline. Then state the topic clearly. In the introduction, in the very first paragraph, you have to give the topic very clearly about which topic you are going to explain. Draw attention of the readers with the rhetorical questions, startling facts और quotation. कोई quotation दे सकते हो writers का attention divert करने के लिए, अपनी तरफ attract करने के लिए, या कोई आप rhetorical question दे सकते हो according to the topic. कोई startling fact दे सकते हो, surprising fact about that. Place the topic in a perspective. You must keep the topic in your mind. आपके व्यू पॉइंट में, आपके माइंड में टॉपिक जरूर रहना चाहिए जिसके बारे में आप लिख रहे हो. You should not go astray from that topic. उस टॉपिक से भटकना नहीं है. Clarify the plan and limit the topic. Be clear and precise. अपने टॉपिक के बारे में explanation दीजिए in the beginning introduction में what you are going to explain. Then coming to the second paragraph, that is called as exposition, discuss different points, merits, demerits, causes, consequences. कोई particular issue है, suppose you are going to write about the water problem or the population problem, तो उसके लिए आपको क्या उसके merits नज़र आ रहे हैं, क्या demerits हैं, ओवर पॉपुलेशन के क्या कॉजेज हो सकते हैं, एंड व्हाट वुड बी द रिजल्ट, व्हाट वुड बी द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज ऑफ दैट. डेवलप कॉज एंड इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप, कॉजेज क्या हैं और उसका क्या इफेक्ट होगा, उन दोनों में रिलेशन क्या होंगे, कैसे इफेक्ट जो है वो ड्यू टू दोज प्रॉब्लम्स इट विल बी देयर. देन यूज फैक्ट्स एंड एग्जांपल्स, आपके पास कोई फैक्ट्स और फिगर्स हैं उसके बारे में एक्सप्लेन करिए, कोई एग्जांपल है आपके पास डेली लाइफ से रिलेटेड विद दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन गिव या आर्गुमेंट्स ऑफ द पीपल अबाउट दैट, bring in comparison and contrast, and then compare it with your views ki what do you think about the views of the people. Sum up what you have stated earlier. Conclusion में हमने कोई नई चीज़ नहीं बतानी है, आपको अपने आइडियाज़ को सम अप करना है जो आपने ऊपर बताया है. कंक्लूड विद ए क्वेश्चन, कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो आप लोगों को वार्निंग दे सकते हो, अलर्ट कर सकते हो, and you can have a good positive hope for the future. You can make an appeal to the people so that the problem can be solved out, and in the future people should not suffer from that problem. जैसे आप वाटर प्रॉब्लम के लिए स्केर्सिटी के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हो, या ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है या एनवायरनमेंट पोल्यूशन के बारे में है, तो यू कैन मेक एन अपील टू द पीपल दैट इफ़ वी वांट टू लिव इन गुड एनवायरनमेंट फॉर द फ्यूचर, we should control our activities so that there should not be that much pollution. So in this way you can make an appeal, giving a hope and a positive note. You can warn the people if the problem is very serious. The end should be satisfactory, not sudden and abrupt. So in this way, your ending should be satisfactory, clearing your ideas. Now, if you look at one sample example, suppose you are Karan or Kiran, write an article in 150 to 200 words on the role of social media in our life, highlighting its positive and negative impact. दोनों तरह के impact, effect भी बताने हैं, positive and negative. So if we go for this, social media in our life, this is the heading of the title, as you can see from the arrow. Then name is mentioned, Kiran. This is called as byline or writer's name. Then coming to the introduction part, they have introduced about the internet. What is the problem? Internet has brought about a drastic change in the way we interact with others in our daily life. Social websites like Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, etc. have become very popular with people of all ages, sections, and professions. These websites are freely available. They provide quick, efficient services. In seconds, a message or a clipping gets viral. Then in the second paragraph, this is about the importance of internet, that what we are doing. It is an introductory paragraph. Then exposition or the details. Social media has many advantages. It enables us to share our thoughts and feelings with others free and fast. Our news gets shared in no time. People use social media for many useful purposes: to find a suitable life partner, to find a suitable job, to clinch a business deal, to search employment opportunity, to chat, etc. But it has as many disadvantages. This is also one part of expositions, that is that you have to tell about the disadvantages, and about those who begin to use social media soon become addictive. Addictive means they become habitual, आदत बन जाती है. दे वेस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन चैटिंग विद फ्रेंड्स ऑन फेसबुक, ट्विटर एक्सेट्रा. मतलब अगर हमें इसके बेनिफिट भी हैं तो हमारे इसके नुकसान भी हैं, डिसएडवांटेजेस भी हैं. ट्रोलिंग हैज एज्यूम्ड सिनिस्टर प्रोपोर्शंस. पीपल राइट फॉल्स और इंसल्टिंग मैसेजेस, thus creating ill will and bitterness. Some evil minded people use social media to spread rumors and even to brainwash gullible people. The need of the hour is to use social media for the well being of the society. Those who run social websites should devise ways to prevent their misuse. This is the conclusion and an appeal made to those who are inventing all these. They must be held responsible if anti-national or anti-social elements use these sites to harm the society and the country in any way. So in this way, note of caution, warning, and suggestion is to be given at the end. So in this way, you have to give the benefits, advantages, disadvantages, and then in the end paragraph, an appeal, a caution, or a warning with the positive note.